St. Lucians, this is Open Mic, we are back. I met Mr. Gajada hold the floor because I have said what I had to say, and he had some very important
all right, let's continue on the buildings,
yes.
right? I think what needs to happen with the buildings that government, I think they've done a lot of bad deals over the years,
yeah.
and we're looking at the isolated cases and judging it from that.
Yeah.
However, if you look at NIC, they have done a pretty good job at managing the buildings and the properties. I think what government has to do is to put a small budget in place and have a proper management team for their buildings. So we need to discuss that and look at that further into where you're going to put the monies. Other than that, it's either you pay it in rent and never own a building ever, or you choose other things that you can put the money in. Now, you mentioned a vocational school, which is an excellent idea, because as we stand now, every single supervisor on any job will tell you that they cannot find the right people for the jobs.
Correct.
Right? And that's at every single level that we're talking about. So we have a major education problem that we need to deal with.
Correct.
And it's not just academic education. It's basic common sense education that we're talking about. Now, let's not stay too long on this one.
Right.
Let's talk about the roads.
The roads.
Right. While it may seem that it can work, that roads are being constructed in other markets and a toll being put on it, we need to look at every angle of it. St. Lucia does not have the volume or the traffic that may be necessary to compensate for the construction of a road. The Castries Grizzly Highway, yes.
Okay.
Maybe the Viewfort Highway,
yes.
Yes. We cannot even say the same for the Soufrière Road. As the volume of traffic on that Soufrière Road, I don't think we'll be able to contribute enough and in the time for it to compensate for the life of the road.
Can I just ask, can I interject here just for a moment? Then, if that is so, is it not possible to do a feasibility survey on that? It shouldn't take that long to answer that question, to see whether it's yes or no.
Yes, and that's simple to do. Just a traffic count.
And a question to you. If it's possible, would it be the right way to go?
It is. If it's possible, it is the right way to go, because you take that responsibility out of government.
You as a contractor, I want you to tell the St. Lucian public, what does it cost to construct a mile of road, and what does it construct to pave a mile of road? Ballpark figure. A mile of road.
About $2.5 million.
To what? To construct?
No, to pave a mile of for a mile of road.
No, from scratch.
From scratch, no. From scratch it's going to be like maybe 3.5.
Okay, and to pave 2.5.
To pave to pave maybe about 1.8.
Yeah. Well, I was working on the assumption it was 1 million, but you
it's more than that.
Because costs have gone up.
Yes.
Now you will appreciate, Reno, that is an awful lot of money. Well,
yes.
How many miles of road we have in St. Lucia ballpark?
Oh, we have a lot of miles of roads, especially in the small little roads.
Correct, okay.
Right? And you see, if we look at those small roads, which are the ones that really need attention, the traffic flow on those roads is minimum.
Right, okay. But there are ways to do that. But and that's what I'm trying to say. And we must develop, because a lot of these areas are, for instance, where they get their bananas from my head, people complaining all the time, it's so bad, and then people getting to work and so forth. So what I'm trying to say, Reno, the areas that can do the tolls, if that money was saved, it then could be applied to those smaller areas.
Well, it's two things. You save the money from having that initial expenditure now.
Yes,
and what you do is there's a continuous maintenance that has to be done, not by yourself, but by the person who had constructed it and has to maintain it as well.
Correct.
So, I mean, you save yourself over a 30-year period of time of what you really do. So, yes, that's a way to look forward to it, but is it really economically viable is what we have to look at.
You see, what I look at, Reno, I know what I'm going to say now may affect some people and may not like it. A man moving from, say, I call it Castries to Grocery on a daily basis. One car going up and down. He probably makes 2 trips, maybe 3 maximum, okay? He pays, I'm not too familiar with it, but there's a license fee you pay. I can't remember exactly how much the license fee.
Yeah, but the fee that you pay is not really the license fee.
Yes.
What people forget very quickly is the amount that you pay on a gallon of gas or
is
fuel
is what keeps it going.
is what keeps that going.
Okay.
What we do not know and we cannot identify is that money that is being taxed on a gallon of gas.
Where is it going?
Where is it going? Is it going back onto the roads?
Or is it going in the big black
to the
hole?
considered fund that we do not know what is being done with it?
So you would say then that money should actually go into a separate fund and concentrate
on the roads.
On the roads, because that's what it's being paid for.
That's correct.
But that's right? Come back to what I was trying to tell you a while ago about the government buildings. The government may take my tax money, which is related to excise duties on, say, food or something like that, and pay off a building for communications and works of it. And that's not what it is. These things, every business should be able to stand on its own. Should be able to stand, okay? I'm not saying they can't.
Yeah, but you see, in a government, I think it operates a little different because, you must put money into non-productive areas to get it going. Huh?
Correct. But remember, would you agree that government is a business?
Government is a business.
It's a business.
Yes, but government's business has to act a little different from the normal business.
But it's still a business.
But it's still a business.
Because when you collect $800 million in revenue a year, okay, you have to be accountable. You must be accountable, okay? When you go to the bank, Reno, and you borrow $10 million, don't the bank ask you every year for a balance sheet?
You have to supply all the information for them.
So it's the
okay,
same
let's go back to government's revenue, $800 million, right? I mean, we have to go right back and see how we ended up where we are today, right? At present, it is estimated that our loan portfolio is about 2.7 billion.
Yes, that's what we owe. That's what St. Lucia owes to it. 2.7 billion. Yeah.
Right.
And out of and that's $150 million there in interest.
Right. Now, how did we get there? And how can the Minister of Finances and all of those people who are supposed to have understood accounting, payments and everything get us in this position? Now, it's a number. So you see, while it is that we want to blame or we want to blame the present government,
that's not
I think we must not do that. And we must look at the whole scenario, where it came from, how we ended up here, and what happened, and what. Now, you said, let's go back to your second point, freeze all borrowings.
Yes.
As far as I have seen, it is very apparent that the present government has almost frozen borrowings. Because you cannot see big borrowings taking place as before. It may have been done in different ways, but not to the extent that it used to be done. But a government, a business, cannot freeze all borrowings because it will fall. You must keep something going.
Yeah, but I have an alternative.
Yeah.
Freeze all borrowings from institutions, but they need to go out and get investors with foreign capital to do what they're doing. Like, for instance, right now, okay, it's a subject to correction. The Prime Minister right now has out for tender, I think you're aware of that, you're one of those that tendered on it. He wants to put up what you call
the Prime Minister's
office at Golden Hope. They want to take down the building on the square, the old educational building, and they want to build a human resource building in Beaufort to the tune of $60 or $70 million. I am saying, Reno, these are not priorities now. So that's borrowings. What I'm trying to say is that that money should be going to another productive area, and if he's so insistent that he wants those buildings, I understand also from the various people who applied that it's like a rent basis, you're going to build and so, but by the same token, where is the money to come from?
To pay for it.
That's right.
Right. Now, I mean, if you go back to what you originally said, let private sector deal with some of these, I think this is actually the move he has made, to let private sector get into it. In terms of the Prime Minister's office, I mean, I have the tender document, so I know what it is. It is to tender to construct, operate for 20 years, and basically government will be paying a rent, and at the end of the period,
where is the rent to come from?
Well, you know, that's what, but okay, let's say without that rent or without using it, what happens? Are you saying that the Prime Minister do not need an office right now?
I'm saying so because he has 4 offices already. The Prime Minister has an office listen to me, on the waterfront. He has the official residence. and he has an office in Castries, in the, what you call it, in the place, and they've already just built the financial center in Sanssouci. 4 offices! Why do we want a 5th office? Anyway, that's not for you to decide, okay?
Right.
That is just for St. Lucians to know that there are areas when we should be prioritized where our money should go, and not go into buildings for offices for people. Because every time you build an office, there's not only a cost in interest and everything else, because government does not get money for free. It has to be air conditioned. There's a cost for the air condition. It has to be maintained. So we need to stop doing certain things like that for now and deal with the more pressing needs here. We have a 25% of people that are unemployed. What are you going to do with them? Look, this is the 3rd segment of our program, and we must take a break. We'll be right back.